Hey guys, it's Nikki. I wanted to go over some housekeeping now that we have done a soft remodel of the gym. There is still more to come, but with everything changing, I want to make sure that everybody knows that this is the culture of the gym now, making sure that everybody is putting their stuff away and just showing you where things go with the new remodels. Cleaning stations. There are currently 3 around the gym. Each of them should always have a bottle and paper towels. If they don't, please let one of the staff know so we can restock our cleaning stations. And please wipe down your equipment after you use it. Cooties are gross. You'll find 2 different storage spots in this side of the gym. So this one's gonna have like all of your balls that you can use for like warming up, rolling out, anything like that. Any of your grips that you want to use on like your bars or your dumbbells are going to be in this basket. We have a few of the ab wheels here, as well as the kettlebell attachments. If you are trying to do like any type of kettlebell movement with a dumbbell, you can attach this onto that and you can do that. We have a few booty bands at the front, a few at the back, and then we have your hip thrust pads here as well on this shelf. Of course, water fountain, still the same as always. We have a few bands against this wall here, as well as the belts that you will need for the belt squat. A few of them are on the machine already, but if you need different ones, they are hanging here. Try not to keep all of the belts on the belt squat at one time so it just doesn't get cluttered. We try to only keep like 3 or 4 on there. So if you use it off this wall, put it back on the wall when you're done. Now I understand that math is really hard for some people, but we need to keep the dumbbells organized, which means that they are going in ascending order on the top shelf. And then if you come back, we are still in ascending order. So we are always going from left to right, from smallest to lightest. There should never be a 15-pound hanging out with the 25 pounds. They're not dating. Put them where they belong. Now, of course, we have our island of misfit dumbbells or our smaller ones. Anything below a 15 right now, we're gonna keep on the floor. And then of course, we're keeping anything over 100 on the floor. We are gonna get another dumbbell rack, but for right now, these do not go on this rack. Cable attachments. There is a spot for every piece of equipment that goes on the cable. They should never be laying on the beautiful floor that we have. Hang it up. All of your smaller attachments can hook right here on this rack. And then we have our long bar attachments, which is gonna take up 2. Our smaller / medium attachments can hang in the middle section. They should never be on the floor. It's okay if they're on the actual cable, if somebody's used them, because again, they're not on the ground. We just can't have things piled up on the floor or just scattered all over the place. Now this one should kind of just be a given, but unfortunately for some reason, people are strong enough to lift the weights, but not strong enough to put them away. Notice how every machine at the current moment does not have weights on them, because guess what? Nobody is using them right now. So if you are finished with a machine, you take your weights off, you put them back on a weight tree, or like the leg press here, you can see that it's got its own storage. 45s go on the leg tree or on the leg press. We don't need to just leave the weights on here for the next person. If they do not lift it, they don't need to take it off. Now I swear, if any of you rage bait me with this machine, you're gonna go somewhere else. No, I'm just kidding. But we have labels because again, not only is math hard, but reading is also hard. But we've made this easy for you guys. Smith machine, your 2.5s, your 5s and your 10s go on the first 2. Preferably 5s and 2s, 10s for aesthetics. 25s and 35s, this third one down. And then your 45s. I do not ever want to see a 45 hanging out with the 10s. I don't even know who thinks that's okay. This is the layout on both sides. And in case you forget, again, you get tired from lifting, it's labeled just for you guys. Now, along with other things that are labeled are bars. We have specialty bars, specifically trap bar, SSB, aka safety bar, and your cambered bar that go in this one. Why do they go in this one? Because these bars stick out in awkward positions. So if you're gonna put the SSB bar in one of the squares, there's a good chance it's gonna get caught amongst the other bars. It's gonna be a pain in the tuchus to get an SSB bar out if it's jammed. So this makes it to where you can keep them in a straight line, so that way it makes your life easier and the bars are gonna have better longevity too. Now on this one, they're technically still specialty bars because this is where you can put like These smaller ones, the easy bars can go on either one, that's totally fine. But these are gonna be specifically where your competition bars live as well. So your squat bars, your power bars, your deadlift bars, any of your straight bars go in this tree here. This says kilo plates. Why? Because this is a kilo tree. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 kilo trees in this gym. The kilo plates are the only plates that go on the trees that say kilo plates. It's self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page there. Now, where these plates go on these trees, I don't ever want to see a yellow on the top shelf. We have our babies, our 1.25s, our 5s, and then our 2.5s that can go on this top shelf. In the middle is where our yellows, our greens, and our blues live. Reds are always on the bottom, okay? And now if you go on the other side of the gym and you see the kilo plates that are in the Olympic lifting zone, those kilo plates do not come over here. These kilo plates do not go over there because these ones cannot be dropped. Those ones can, but we don't use those in powerlifting. So I don't know why anybody would want to use plates that they're not using in powerlifting. Besides pounds, you can use pounds. Nobody's judging you. But these plates cannot be dropped. If you drop them, I'm gonna drop kick you. Now the squat cage, the only plates that are allowed to be on the side here, brace yourself, kilo plates. Says it right there. So only the kilo plates, specifically the reds, are allowed to be on the edge here. Try to limit it to like 5 max on each side. I don't have a reason for it, but that's just aesthetically pleasing. All right, this is where I'm going to be a stickler. These are combo racks. What does combo mean? It means you can do a combination of movements, AKA a squat and a bench. So this beautiful bench here comes out when you're squatting. So I'll show you how to do that. You just pick it up, you pull it aside. Now, where do you put your bench? That's a good question. There's a few different options. So you can place it out of the way over here, as long as this person has space to squat and bench and the bar's not gonna whack it. We also don't need to put all of our benches in the middle of the walkway. We need to be able to walk. So I don't need to see benches lined up in the walkway. Make sure that it makes sense where you put it. This bench right here and that bench can all be lined up along the door right here. You can stand them up, that's totally fine. You can pull them out here and set them down, that's totally fine. But when you're done squatting, you just take the bench. So you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna put it back in its home and walk away. Now those cleaning stations I was talking about, here's another one. There's also one located over there by the leg machines. But this specific station is also gonna house our baby powder that we need for deadlifts. Where do we put this on? Outside, guys? Say it with me. Outside. There, out there. There should never be baby powder inside the gym. It's slippery. You also are gonna have all of your brushes for cleaning your deadlift bars after you use them. It's okay to keep them on the chalk bowls as well, but they don't need to just be lying on the floor or just some random spots. They either go here or on the chalk bowls. Now, we're gonna go over the storage area. So if you're a shorty and you have to use the blocks under your feet for benching, they're gonna be stored behind here. Not a lot of people use them, so we're just keeping them where they're the least amount seen. Now, your bench blocks, or as most of you use them for as your tripods, whatever your use is for them, they need to come back along the wall here, not just left all over. I don't care where in the gym you take them. Look, Bryce is gonna demonstrate. See? Ah, you get a gold star. That's an A+ student right there. So you put all of your bench blocks back along the wall, so that way we can find them easy. We have steps here, well, a step, but if we have more steps, they're gonna go here. The wedge for your squats, if you need to elevate your feet, is here. Along the wall, these are all attachments for the sleds. So that way, if you have sleds in your program or you want to use a sled, you have the harnesses that you can put over you. And then there's also the longer strap attachments if you're putting them around your waist or you're pulling them. They're all lined up against this wall, as well as more of the smaller ones. We have a little bungee rope, and then we have the bands. Oh, there's a few bands on that wall, but most of the bands are going to be on this side, so that way they're interchangeable for either side of the gym since they're using class as well as this side. The storage shelf. These are going to be labeled, so don't worry, there's going to be more things for you guys to read. But foam rollers, bench blocks, the ones that attach to the bar, are going to stay on the second shelf. Slingshot, booty bands, more of them. And then the bottom is going to be like the wrist straps, anything like that. If anybody has them that they don't use and want to donate them, you're more than welcome to donate them and just put them in this bucket. We're always going to allow you guys to give us more of wrist straps and straps. Some ab wheels here, yoga wheels, and then this is kind of like the miscellaneous basket with like your warm-up and recovery tools. So we got the So-Right, the calf thingy, bobber. And then these are like the spare deadlift wedges in case somebody needs an extra thing and we don't have any more of the actual levers that can be used. Kilo chart on the wall so you can see how much you've lifted in pounds and kilos if you need quick math. And then this corner is just more specialty bars, the ones that don't get used as much or they're really weird shape. So your football bars, there's a shorter bar that is mostly used for like Olympic lifting type events. And the other trap bar, which is the longer trap bar. Bamboo bar chilling back here on the wall. There's also some farmer's handles that can be used too if you guys are doing any type of farmer's carries. And then your crash mats, or if the kids want to use them as sleeping bags, they can sleep on those. On this side, we have a shelving unit that you can store your keys. You can put your smaller gym bags, water bottles, whatever you need to put on here just to keep it out of the way while you're doing class. A few of the toys are under here. These toys are meant to go outside. No toys inside the gym. If your kid brings an iPad, tablet, if you have a cart, something that they can keep them contained, that's fine. But if they're spreading the toys out, the toys need to go out in the alley or out in the grass. Of course, we still have our towels, our dirty towels, clean towels, more reading. We got you guys covered, don't worry. We now have 2 shelves specifically for 14 and 20 pound wall balls. Those are the only balls that go on these shelves. Okay, there's another system down there that's got your smaller ones. And these are just wall balls, not like your dead ball slam balls, wall balls. Mats, you might notice that we don't have any more of the longer mats. They were kind of gross. We don't need that around here. So these mats that are hiding behind the dumbbell rack, these are great for warming up. They're very thick and squishy and they're large. So 2 people can share it at once if they want to. Of course, all the kettlebells are under here. Notice how they're very organized, and keep them very organized. This green guy doesn't need to be hanging down there with the baby kettlebells. Make sure you keep the pairs together and you keep them pushed under the rack in order. If you are doing sleds, these sled handle attachments are here in this tree. And then we have some of the sleds here underneath the coach's laptop and music station. This is for coaches only. Do not touch this, okay? These bikes, these rowers, if you pull them out to use them, that's fine. You can use them wherever you want. They go back against the wall. Kind of just rule of thumb, where you found something, if it's in an organized spot, that's probably where it goes. If it looks misplaced or like it's not supposed to be there, ask a staff and we'll tell you where it goes. Bikes against this wall. Rowers, stand up inside of the skiergs when you are finished. You can pull them out, go anywhere you want on the side, but just roll them back and put them against the wall. Ropes, hang now on the sides of the big storage unit. But you can see we have smaller wall balls here. Of course, we still have a few miscellaneous 14s and 20s, the ones that aren't that specific Valor brand. And then all of our dead ball / slam balls are now in this middle shelf right here, as well as the bigger balls that you can use if you're doing like front carries or ball over shoulders or whatever ball exercises you want. They're in here. Sandbags are on the bottom shelf. And then we have more sleds in front of the shelving unit, as well as the PVC pipes that are stored right there if you need them for warming up or doing any sort of technique work. So I know this guy's been hanging out over here for a while. If you forgot about him, we have the reverse hyper in the gym still. It's just against this wall. So you can come over here and use it. It doesn't matter, it's for the entire gym to use. This is the standard attachment that goes on it, but you can use any attachment on this machine. Just make sure if you bring it over here, you bring it back and you put it on the attachment wall. This is the only attachment that stays on the side attached to the machine, not out in La La Land. The Olympic lifting area, the blocks that are used for technique or block work, if you pull them out, again, you can use them anywhere you want, but they go back against the wall. It's basically like real life Jenga. You pull it out, you put it back where it was, make sure it looks proportionate and it fits against the wall. Same thing with the boxes that you would use for like your box jumps or your box squats. They are against this wall. Again, they can go anywhere that your heart desires in the gym, but they come back against the wall. See how they're nicely laid out and put together? It fits, it sits. That's how it goes. And then these are the kilo plates that we were talking about. These ones, you can drop them, you can do what you want with them, but you can't power lift with them and you can't Olympic lift with our kilo plates. Where these are or where they need to come back, you don't leave your bars loaded after you're done doing a clean and jerk. If you're strong enough to lift it, you're strong enough to put it back in its home. Now the bars on this side are only Olympic lifting bars. Any purely silver bars, except this guy, he's got pink on him. But these are only Olympic lifting bars. They are not used for deadlifts or squat, for bench. We're not dropping them with our regular kilo plates on there. They're Olympic lifting only. They stay on the Olympic lifting side. They are okay to keep them in the rack unloaded, or you can put them back on the shelf. Bumper plates. A lot of people don't even realize we have bumper plates. If you're needing bumper plates, let's say that you're warming up on a deadlift and your deadlift is less than 135 pounds. Clearly, you're not gonna start that deadlift with a 10-pound plate that's this big. You can come over here and grab the bumper plates, bring them on that side. You're still not dropping them just because they're bumper plates. Those deadlift platforms have wood on them that can crack. You're going to grab a bumper plate, bring it on the side, do what you gotta do, and then bring it back. You can store them on these shelves. You have your 25-pound stack, your 35-pound stack, and then your 10, 15, your 10s and 15s all live on here. At the bottom, you have your little fellas, your 5s and your 2.5s. Your 45s are now on the ends of the rig. They are sticking out. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 45 pounds. Now these are the bars that are used in class. So these silver bars with the green on them, these are 45 pounds. And then these ones that have the blue on them that are a little darker are the 35-pound bars. These are typically your male bars and these are your female bars, but women, you can use 45 pounds too. Now the bars over here are going to be the CrossFit class bars. The bars that have the green on them that are silver, these are 45 pounds, typically your male bars. The bars over here that have blue on them that are a little darker in shade, these are your 35, typically your females. Now you're gonna notice this guy right here. Now this bar, he was located here in the center, but there's 4 of these around the gym. This is a training bar, they're shorter and they're only 15 pounds. The max weight that you can put on these bars is 35 pounds. Anything above that, now you need to go ahead and switch to a regular bar. And then we do have additional bikes over here underneath the new pull-up bars. Again, if you pull these out to use them, just please put them back over here where you found them under the pull-up bars. Now this is a bigger storage rack, which means that if you have larger gym bags or items, if it's not raining, obviously, you can set them out here while you're working out. It's 100% safe and it's there for you guys to use. All right, so this area outside, technically outdoors in general, is your kids' safe space. This is where they can play. We had a member that was so nice and donated this trunk to us. We are filling it up with toys for your kids to play with when they're here. There's a bunch of stuff already, but there's plenty of space. So if you have any toys that you or a friend that you know wants to donate, please bring it, fill this up, and keep it closed when it's not being used. Of course, we still have our big life-size toys, our little kid stove, but we are slowly building this outdoor area from this side of the tree over as the kids zone. So that way you can work out and your kids are out here playing. One thing to be mindful of, and if you did read the email, I'm just gonna reiterate, when we're doing classes, sometimes there are exercises and workouts that involve the alleyway, sled pushes, farmer's carries, dead ball carries, running. Your kids cannot be just hanging out here. Technically, nobody should be hanging out here when there is any type of moving workout going on in a class, or if a member is doing any type of sled activity in their workout. So it's really important that during those specific activities and classes, your kids are not in the alleyway. They are just over here in the grass playing with any toy their heart desires. And just a reminder to reiterate that policy even more, if you have a child that is a baby infant, they are not capable of being on their own yet, please understand they are allowed to be in the gym in a contained spot. A stroller, a wagon, a playpen. If you have a little pack and play, that's fine. You can bring toys for your kids. You can bring lawn chairs for your kids. They just need to be in a confined area because, again, we have people dropping weights on this side. We have people doing heavy squats and bench on this side. We would hate that if a kid is running through, playing, lollygagging, a person is squatting, and now they have run into each other. That's going to be two potentially hurt individuals, and we are just making sure that this is a safety concern all the way around, which is why we are really trying to have a space for your kids to play, that you can be comfortably working out and they can comfortably be playing. So if you've never seen one of these, this is a brush to wipe off your deadlift bar. If you've never wiped off your deadlift bar and you've used chalk, shame on you. So let's say you put chalk on your hands, it gets caked up on the bar. You're going to take the brush and you're just going to do this until the chalk is not caked up on there. You're still probably going to see a little bit of the coloration. That's fine, but we don't want these bars to get caked up with chalk. So just after your deadlifts, brush them off. Along the lines of deadlifts, and again, talking about the kilo plates, pound plates, whatever, powerlifting, we don't drop the bar, but we don't drop these bars on these platforms because A, these bars will bend, and if you drop them on the platform, not only are you damaging the plates and the bar, but now there's potential that you're going to damage the platform. So when you're deadlifting, we stand up, okay? You can get excited, scream, shout, whatever. You're going to put it all the way back down. You will not drop it from the top, or I am, again, drop kicking you.